Hey, y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, September 15th. Welcome. I know, it's been 4 weeks again. I apologize. Just, it's always something, and it's a Sunday and not a Saturday, so there I am keeping up with my plans, as usual. um, I had my procedure done and everything went fine. I, although, had the Saturday after, which was 2 weeks ago, I still had a painkiller hangover, so I didn't record. The next Saturday, had to go into the office and work, and by the time we got done with everything else that goes on, it was just late. And yesterday, same thing, went into work, and Ryan just left, so it is Sunday night, getting close to 9 o'clock. And everyone who knows me knows that we're pushing my bedtime here. Anyway, I've got lots of stitching. I've got myself like walled in here with things. But anyway, let's get started. I worked on a lot of different things. Quilts for All Seasons, Paula Vaughn. I started September. Which looks like this. I'm starting each one on the first Sunday of the month. Sometimes I have more time to stitch than others, but that doesn't mean I get a whole lot done on these either, because I also stitch on my solitude piece on Sundays, which we'll see that in a minute. But anyway, here we are. That's one of these. This was the quilt block with the houses. I know I just showed it to you, but if you're anything like me, you don't remember. So I started in the middle, so we're somewhere around here. I think I might be working up on that one right there. That may be what we've got going on here. So every time I stitch on these, I don't want to quit. That's really the way it is with most things anyway. Sorry, my phone keeps making noises. I worked on From Country Scenes. I worked on this one, this wagon. And seriously, it's pathetic that I haven't finished this wagon. There's where we are. Sorry, the other wagon's a needle minder. So it's ridiculous. It probably wouldn't take all that long. There isn't a ton of stitching in it, but I am easily distracted. Trying to clean off one spot at a time down here. Like I said, I had my procedure done. It's no secret. If you're curious, I had to have my cervix dilated. Because I had a uterine infection, and after being pregnant, they stitched my cervix closed and it never opened up completely afterwards, and then it just kept closing over the years. This is the second time I've had to have it done. I already was more than certain that I had an infection, and the testing proved that out. The doctor was certain that I was having postmenopausal bleeding, because she wouldn't listen to me tell her that no, I'm still having periods. Regardless, she wanted to investigate that and found that there is nothing wrong other than the infection. I still got my way. I got what I wanted and got the infection gone, although she tried to kill me with the antibiotics, to say the least, because she had me on 3 different ones, and I finally conceded defeat and quit taking them before they did kill me. But anyway, I had that done on Friday, 2 weeks ago, whatever that was. And on Saturday, our air conditioner, the one on the other side of the house, broke. So that is always a delight, especially here where We were fortunate. It was only getting up to about 85 for those few days. They actually did come on, it was Labor Day weekend, and they came on Sunday and fixed it. They came on Sunday and got it working enough to get us through while they ordered a part that really needed to be replaced. They bypassed it. So they got it fixed this past week. But who wants to deal with that when I guess it's good that I still had a painkiller hangover, because that was no fun. Anyway, out of the cross stitch and country crafts June, what did that say? May, June of 92. I'm stitching this, and I'm going to fill in however many light, because it's just like this, you repeat going down. I'll fill in however many fits on my piece. I'm going to finish it into a drum. So here's where we are. I guess I could get the family roadster off. So I have a headless deer, but I'll do whatever fits before I put the tree in over here. This time mostly I filled in the second color of the deer here. I had to do a little bit of the outer color, but then started filling in the second. And I want to turn that into a drum when I get it finished. I don't always know how I want to finish something when I start it, but that one I do. Okay, to be fair, I don't usually know how I want to finish something. Let's see, out of Cross Stitch Christmas, this one is from, it's an older one. $2017. I'm doing this stocking for Jacob, my son-in-law, for those of you that are new. I've had several new subscribers. I appreciate it. I was going to do that and I forgot. I went to, on my comments from my last video, I commented on them, and I went back to comment on some other ones, and there were none. Nothing. There were no comments. The comments I'd left before were gone. There was nothing. And I meant to go back and check before I did the video today, and I forgot. I apologize. If you commented and I didn't comment back to you, I've been trying to be much better about that. I apologize, because I was being better about it, and then it's gone. So I don't know if they're back or not, but accept my apologies, please. I am obviously not doing the stocking in the called for colors. Jacob's favorite color is blue. For those of you who haven't been around, 2 different blues here was a very huge struggle for me. I now own about 10 different blues of fancy floss, trying to find something that I liked together. And although I've settled on this, I still do feel like it looks a little bit like the Albertsons logo. Anyway, this is as wide as it is at the top. I've reached the other edge, so I'm pretty thrilled about that. This won't be finished for this Christmas by any stretch of the imagination. It'll be a miracle if it was finished by next Christmas, or probably the one after that. And I've got to tell you this. In addition to the air conditioner being broken, the keypad for the gates out front quit working. And so Dax went and was looking at it, checking it out, and it wasn't getting any power to the keypad. So at the keypad, there was no power. So we ordered a new board there are two. There's one with the keys and then one right behind it that's the interface between the gate opener and the keypad. So we ordered a new one of those. It came in, it didn't fit. We sent it back, and we just ordered a whole new box that the keypad is in, everything, the whole new setup. Last Sunday, I think it was last Sunday, we were working on it out there for hours, trying to figure out where the problem was. There were two wires. If we touched them together, the gate would open and close, but the keys weren't working forever. Like I said, we were out there a couple of hours. So a new keypad box, operation box, and which cost about $200. Later, we found out that in the main gate operating system, there was a fuse that was blown. So the repair was really about $1.50. So there you go. Hey, it works now though. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's over. It's done. Apparently now we have a spare keypad in case this one breaks. This Country Spirits Collection, Married to You by Homespun Elegance. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the one with the alphabet or just the plain one. I've got time. I've got time. You will see how much time. I've got time. I think this time I put in another row of red, and then I started on the heel of the sock. So nothing very impressive, but every stitch counts. It all matters. It's actually been crazy for the whole family. Wyatt was having abdominal pain, and bless his heart, he gets online to look up symptoms all the time and scares himself to death. And he was certain that he had appendicitis, which he does not, thankfully. After spending all day Tuesday in the ER with him, basically he's got a stomach bug that is winding its way through his intestines, as lovely as all of that is. But they gave him a shot and a prescription to kind of keep him from cramping and everything, to lessen any kind of pain that it's causing as this infection runs its course. And I don't know if it was the nature of the infection or if it was because of the medication, but he broke out in a rash all on his chest and stomach. So I told him, don't take the medication anymore. All of my kids, anytime they had a strep infection or anything like that, they always got a rash on their chest and stomach first. That's how I always knew when they had strep. They got a rash first. So that's been a joy for him. Addison and Jacob had to move apartments last week. They didn't have to. They found out that the apartments in their complex were being rented for $400 a month less than the one that they were in. The same apartment, except for it had been updated, and theirs has not. And so they asked for them to, because their lease renewed here in September, so they had asked them to change their lease rate to what they were currently leasing, and they told them they could only go down $100 a month. But if they transferred their lease to another apartment in the complex, they could honor that price. So they moved. They moved from this building over to that building. Right, their old apartment was on this side of the pool. Their new apartment's on this side of the pool. So it's redonkulous. You're renewing a lease. Why can't you honor the price that if I walked in off the street you would give me? So anyway, they moved last weekend, so they're all still dealing with that and sorting it out. To be young again, right? Let's see, out of Cross Stitcher Magazine, September 2016. I'm working on this one. It says just my cup of tea. I call it tea time. I don't know if that's the name of the pattern. I'm going to guess the pattern is just my cup of tea. So that's apparently a name I've absolutely made up, but I do that a lot. Anyway, here we are. I finished all of the back stitching on the blue, and I think before I only had this top row and the pink one, so I came around and did that. There's some stitching here in the middle that's it looks white, but it's a really pale blue. I think this is on my list of 20. For those of you who are new, my list of 20 whips, it's like my year of whips, is basically my 20 oldest projects that I'm supposed to be focusing on to push to a finish this year. And what it really means is, for the majority, it's 20 of my biggest projects, and they're still in my list because they're big and not going to be finished this year. Pepperberry Wreath by Imaginating. Because I have not missed a day of stitching since sometime in December of 2022. I am pretty adamant about not breaking my streak, and so when I had the pain meds hangover, I didn't want to miss stitching. I slept away most of that day. I slept most of Friday and a good portion of Saturday. I came out here and put in those red stitches. That was like, that's all I can manage. And I probably need to go back and check those to make sure they are correct. There is no telling. Out of, it's Stitch a Day, like the desk calendars. Janet had sent me a whole bunch. She sent me a box with 5 years worth of those in it, and I've only gone partially through one of the years and pulled a couple of things. This one is for February. Most of theirs are 2 days, right? Each pattern is 2 days. This one's February 2nd and 3rd from 2011, and it's these bunnies. I call it Bunny Circle. I don't know what it is. It's a Chinese symbol, Year of the Rabbit. I'm probably not going to put anything in the middle. But here's where I am. This time I finished filling in the circle. I only had part of it and came back up here and started on one of the bunnies. I am using a variegated thread. I won't show you the one that's all wadded up down there. But here's what it looks like. This is from Mad X Stitcher, and I don't think she dyes anymore. Actually, I'm pretty sure she does not dye anymore. I had ordered just like a grab bag that had a bunch of different ones in there, but this one is called Cold Morning Blue from her. But I thought that would be neat because it goes through some pretty good shades of blues. Everything's sticking together. From the March, April 1986 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. And yes, I've had all of these this long. I'm actually doing all 3 cats, but this time I worked on this one. This one comes up when I spin my wheels to decide on what I'm going to stitch on. It comes up way more than the others, so I'm much farther along on it. But here we are. I believe this time I came and I filled in over here, brought down this border a little bit more, and did just a little bit of stuff in the cat. That cat's confetti heavy. Confetti heavy. It's not as bad as that Siamese cat. Good gravy. That thing's the worst. A Very Good Collection by Holly Designs. There we go. That's what it looks like. I'm doing this little sheep. I'm not doing the heart around him. I'm just doing the sheep because I think he's cute. But I was looking at some of these other things in here. I think the little bears in the hot air balloons, there's a little tiny bear in that one. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think that's adorable. And I think this little bunny is adorable too. So I may do those later. We'll see. Anyway, this is just a 14 count Ada, just kind of a mint green. And there we are. That's his head. I filled in all of the darker. I don't think I had his ear and nose, and finished filling in his head and started on the bow. As you can see, some days I have more time to stitch than others. This Friendship Quilts by Paula Vaughn. If you're new here, you will see a theme. I love me some Paula Vaughn. And this is also on my list of 20. And once again, it will not be done this year. But here we are. I did this time, let's see, I filled in, finished getting this all filled in. That's the part I had to pull out because I did part of it with 2 strands. And then I did more back stitching in the quilt. There's still a little bit more to go. I think in a different color, like right here in between these quilt blocks. And then we've still got a lot of stuff to do on the porch. I don't have a ton of actual cross stitch to do, but there is still a whole lot of back stitching to be done over here. And I think coming in right about here, there's another step for the porch right here. But anyway, I love it. I think with every little bit of back stitching that goes in, it is just looking better and better. And you can't even tell there's mistakes on that quilt. A whole row of them. Out of Cross Stitch Keepsake Calendar from 2017, Paisley Pumpkins. And this is a piece of fabric that I dyed. And I guess you don't need to see the whole thing. I got the rest of this filled in. It's over here. Finished filling in here. Last time I had asked if I should fill in the paisleys on there, and the overwhelming vote was no, to leave it like that. In this picture, that pumpkin is solid stitching. I'm not going to do that because I want my fabric to show through. It's slightly orange. It's not a real strong orange, obviously, but so I started with some of it. This is the difference, I'll have to do the gray for the pumpkins, going in here. And I'm going to have to decide on how much shading like there's shading down here. How much of that I'm going to do and where, but that's a future Taryn problem. We will leave that for future Taryn to figure out. From Little House Needleworks, Gratitude, Sheep Virtues. I don't know if that's being really glary or not. And I have on this one piece of fabric, you can see I cut one out that I had finished. And I need to go digging around in my decorations and figure out which one I finished, because that's why I quit cutting them out, because I wanted to be able to remember which ones I had already done. As you can see, I've done Simplicity, and I thought I was done with Kindness, and I was looking at it, and I had put this outside color on the border only at the top, not the rest of the way around. So I put it the rest of the way around, and now I'm really finished with that one. I don't remember which one this is. It looks like it's Kindness. No, that's that one. I don't know. I have it in a separate bag. Anyway, here's my Gratitude. This time I filled in with a darker color and then came down here and did that color there. No, it's a different color. It's not quite as dark, but there we go. These are pretty good for travel stitching because they're not overly difficult. And y'all, I sat there the other day on purpose looking at Dimensions kits. Why? I have a love-hate relationship with them. Why am I doing that to myself? So, Dimensions. I think this is called A Still Life or something like that. Collectibles Still Life from the Charles Wysocki collection. There you go. This is on my list of 20. I don't think it's going to happen. But here we are. We're actually, this time I filled in all the yellow in the corn. But at the beginning of the year, I only had the spout and like here on the coffee pot and part of the brown right there. So this year I have added in the spoons, the lid, the handle, and the corn. I think I had this one piece of green last year at the beginning of the year. Sorry. So this time I got the bulk of that corn in. I had a little bit of the brown before, but I did a bunch of green and then got the bulk of the corn in. So I'm pretty happy with that. That was pretty good progress. But this little vase is going to be a lot of stitching too. I guess a crock, whatever, but so I don't see it getting finished this year, but maybe next year. We'll shoot for that, right? Mystic Stitch by Solitude by Mystic Stitch, not Mystic Stitch by Solitude. This is on my Year of Whips. The Paula Vaughn Friendship Quilts, and these are my two oldest whips from 2016. I would really, really, really like to finish them both before 2026 ends. I don't know, y'all. That I really am going to have to work hard to do that. Anyway, here we are. I finished this page and got started on this one right here. Not a huge start, but I've moved on to another page nonetheless. My goal was to get 3 pages finished this year. It's September and I barely finished 1. Somebody's going to have to do better. Maybe next year I can make it my 25/7 piece. where it got some love every day since this year. I've been working on these Snowflower Diary pieces as my 25/7. So if I don't do something like that next year, maybe I could do that with the Solitude and kind of push it forward more. I don't know. It's just terrible. Anyway, I worked on the November Joyful World Sal from Snowflower Diaries. These are free on her blog. If I remember, I will link it in the description, but if we're being honest, I'm not very good at that. Anyway, here we are in November. Underneath the flowers, there is a row right here. It comes down here and goes there of white stitching, and clearly it does not show up. So I'm going to pick probably just a really pale blue to put a back stitch over that. Like these snowflakes are supposed to be in white, but obviously I changed it to blue so that they would show up. Anyway, I have faith that this will be done before November. We'll see. We'll see. I know, y'all, there's so much. That's why I shouldn't wait that long. When I went for my follow-up checkup last week, I asked the doctor, who I've reached the age where most doctors are younger than me. I asked her how long we had to wait to have sex. And she looked at me. First, she just stared at me dumbfounded. But before she answered, her look kind of changed to, "What is your old ass asking that question for?" Yeah, she made me feel so old. It's not right. It's not right. Another Paula Vaughn. I told you. I can't read that backwards. The Fabric of Dreams. I absolutely love a wedding ring quilt. I love quilts, period. I don't know what it is about a wedding ring quilt that I just absolutely love them. I used to have one and I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, here we are. I know, looks like a lot of nothing, doesn't it? This is up here on the brim of the hat right here, and then this like leaves coming down is right here, and some of the flowers, and then this is coming up. That's one of the window panes here coming up right here. This is another one I did not want to put down because while I was stitching on it, I actually, got into a groove with what I was doing. I hate to put things down when it gets to the point where it is just going smoothly. Things are sliding all over the place over here. Just cross stitch, April 2018. I'm doing this rabbit on the front. I call it Spring Hair. I don't know if that is the name of it or not. And here is where we are. I think this last time I got this bird put in up here, and I'm just kind of working on backstitch as I go along. There's, I think, one or two more bees. I think just one more bee up here of stitching, but mostly I'm down to just backstitch. So I am loving the way that the backstitch makes stuff look. This is on an 18 count piece of Ada that I dyed with red wine. It's got the splotches from the where the word's left my mind now, where it gathers on the bottom of the jar. But I dumped it all out on there. I'm not a wine drinker, so it didn't bother me to do that. It was one that had been opened by a friend that was at the house. I have a collection of wine because I don't drink it, and we used to have a client who gave us wine several times during the year. And so we only had one friend that used to come over. They've moved away, so now nobody comes over to drink my wine. It's just aging. Out of this little leaflet, ABCs of cross stitch, I haven't decided what all I'm going to do because I don't think I want to do the whole thing. I actually don't really want the alphabet. But I like the other, I like the stuff at the top and all of that, but I think I may do like this, all of this. Of course, I've got to do the welcome, of course. And then this here, and then I don't know what to do. I could take these butterflies and move them out into here. I could try to take, just this and bring it down to fill in that space. I could leave it blank. I don't know. I've got plenty of time to think about it because I'm only right here at the bottom. That's it. I got, like I said, plenty of time. Okay. I'm trying to make it, but I'm not going to be able to. Sorry. And I hope that that is not, I've stepped over everything that I've got stacked all over the place here. I hope that's not going to be too noisy for y'all. But hot flashes, I'm sweating like a pig, I'm dying. As a person who spent most of my life being cold all the time, these hot flashes are killing me. From also the Snowflower Diaries, I believe this also, yes, was a free pattern on her blog, and it's called Spring Bunny Love. Aren't they cute? And I'm only working on, that's him. This is what I was working on while I was waiting for the guy to get here to fix the AC. And I finished his, I put in the little tie and finished his head. There was just one ear, and I was desperate to put on this, at least part of the other ear, because without that it looked like a hand flipping me off. And so I tried to make him be nice to me. Try not to drop everything. From Mirabilia, this is Santa's Magic. It is also on my list of 20. It also will not be done. Just making sure I'm opening this the right way. So, there we are. I made a working copy right out of the middle of the pattern where it was folded. So there we are. I got like most of this all filled in. I filled in some more Krynic in here, and I've been slowly filling in what is this called? Of course it's backwards in here. The fuzzy stuff. Whisper. I've been slowly filling it in. There's a lot of whisper thread down in here, and I believe there will be some more up higher and like in his beard and stuff, but I wouldn't swear to it. Anyway, just working my way along. I've said it before, my secret to success with the Whisper, I have found that I can use the Whisper thread in just as long a length as my regular. Like now I've got two of them because I lost one of these giant needles. This is my regular cross stitch needle, and this is the one that I'm using for the Krynic and the Whisper thread. It is big and fat. It has a big fat eye, and I can get that. It opens the hole up nice and wide for the Whisper and the Krynic. I don't get it. It's not shredding. It's, like I said, I can pull off a length of the Whisper thread that's as long as what I'm going to cross stitch with normally. So that has made a huge difference. Because I've been doing so well on the Solitude piece, just whipping it right out. I have, a few other full coverage pieces. This one, Mountain Air. Yeah, awesome, right? This is the width of the first page. And I've started down or down here. So this is all that this page is going to be, pretty much, is dead grass. But it's okay. I love it. And I haven't even been showing y'all my bags, but they're always the same bags. I don't change them that often. This was a table runner. I just folded it up, stitched it. It was a little longer on the top than I wanted it to be, so I folded it back on itself. Sewed fat rick rack on it and some star buttons on each side. But hey, it works. It's not really that crooked. I'm holding it wrong. It's really better. I was holding my head like this, and while I was sewing, I don't know why it came out like that. I worked on Graveyard Halloween by Stony Creek. And here is where we are. This time I worked up there on the bird. As you can see, I didn't have all that much time to stitch on it. This is just DMC 310, and this actually is a DMC color that I have ordered. I'm waiting on it to come in. I worked on this. It's a Janlin pattern, I think. I think so. I don't. Anyway, it's called Ruffled Feathers. I call it Rooster Pin. It's on my list of 20. It's not happening. But here we are. I put in more of the black. I corrected an error that I had. And as you can see, I've started on those two chickens. This is going to be a lot of fun getting it done. It just won't be this year. From Sue Hillis Designs, America the Beautiful. This is on my list of 20. It's old enough to have made its way up there. And it won't be finished for who knows how long. I am stitching the outlines of the states, but I'm only filling in the stuff for the states that Dax and I have been to, which is 23 of them, I believe. And I'm not putting in the capitals. I'm just going to put in the state names. So here we are. This time you can see where my copy breaks, but I cheated and finished Pennsylvania. I put in this cute little tractor, did Virginia, and I brought this down some more too. So I made a copy of, because the pattern folds out to be just one big huge one, so I made a copy of the next part coming down right here, and that's the direction I'll work. Pretty much the stuff that we've been to a lot of is going to be this area right here. We've been to a lot of the middle stuff, or in the southern stuff. So anyway, that one won't be finished for a long time because we have to get to every place before it gets finished. Summer welcome. I have hopefully measured correctly, and it's not going to be like the fall welcome where I'm almost halfway done before I realize that it's not going to fit, but we shall see. This is on an 18 count even weave, and I have started just I found the middle spot and started. Obviously it's the watermelon. The middle comes like right in here. So there we are. This is fabric I dyed myself with just some leftover water that kind of, the blue is really pretty, so it kind of, it picked it up more in the edges than everywhere else, and it's okay. It's nice. I like it. My needle minder is a Mill Hill kit, like for the pen, and I put a magnet. I glued a magnet to it, and then I covered it with felt. So if you have Mill Hill kits and you don't hang them up anywhere and you don't know what to do with them, there's an idea. If your refrigerator's getting full. From Fancy That, this one's called Boo. I call it Fancy That Ghost. Anyway, I am down here on the Never Ending Pumpkin. This time I put in the black and then just I'm filling in. I think last time I had just a couple of rows of the pumpkin, so just filling in. This is an 18 count. I think this one has a label. I'm pretty sure it was in some stuff Colvin sent me. Zweigart Turbulence. 14 count 8 in Turbulence. And this one is going to probably take up most of this piece, maybe a little bit taller, but I have lots of fabric left over that's you could all kinds of different things, because different spots have different looks, right? Oh, I think that was the last one. Wow. Okay. For this next part, I'm going to ask that y'all sit down or lie down, and don't be operating any heavy equipment or using anything sharp, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. But I have some FFOs. Yes, plural. There was an S at the end of that. More than one. I know. So I finished this one, but didn't FFO it in time to hang it up. This one is just, the reason I didn't FFO it is because I had bought I use these, they're stiff canvas boards, I guess is what they would be, canvas boards that I get at the Dollar Tree or Michael's or whatever. I use those to finish them, but some of the fabrics that I grabbed are bigger than others, so this finish came out bigger, and I bought bigger canvas boards. And I couldn't, everything that I tried to match it with, like the felt for behind it, I didn't like. And so I had this fabric, so instead I just put a fabric border on it, and on the back, I liked the flowers because of all of these Lazy Daisy flowers in here. Anyway, so I got that finished. It can hang up. I have finished and FFO'd September's, but it is already at the office. I did put it on the board. September's has the owls on it. I was going to show you, but I don't know. That bag is buried deep, I guess. Yeah, sorry. You don't want me to dig down. Anyway, September has 2 owls on it. And from the place that I bought the felt before that I carried on about, I bought some more because I saw this and I put it with those owls because, oh my God, are you kidding me? How stinking cute is that? It's just like summer and not summer, kind of moving into fall, and all preppy like a studious owl would be. That place is going to be the death of me if I don't quit. Also, one of the things that I stitched on this week, this was a Mania Start. It was from the May-June 1991 Country Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. It was this. I did this one. I didn't do it as a keychain. They have it in red and greens down there. I did mine in the red, white, and blue. And I will tell you that, I have to look now because I don't know. Anyway, I was going to say my colors were backwards when I was looking at the key on the chart, I thought, but I guess not. Anyway, I finished it and I FFO'd it. It's just some red ticking. I've got ticking. It's never hard for me to find ticking around here. I mean, truth be told, it's not hard to find any kind of fabric. When I say I have a ton of fabric, I mean, I have a ton of fabric. I have a closet that you can't get into that's full of fabric, and that's not counting what's in boxes in my garage and what's in this room. Anyway, and then some blue with white stars on it. I'm pretty sure that this fabric came in the box of goodies that Colvin had sent me that had just a ton of stuff in it. And then I just took some blue raffia and wrapped it around. It looked too plain. I don't know that this is how I'm gonna, I feel like it needs something, but I haven't decided what yet. So I don't know what it's a finish for now. It's an FFO for now. So we'll see what I decide later. I know I'm not done. This one isn't fully FFO'd. I was stuffing it and then Ryan got here, so I stopped to play with him. If you're new here, Ryan is my grandson. He's 7 months old. Anyway, I finished this some time ago. And when I was digging around for something else, I came across this fabric, and I don't know why I decided that, you know what, that works. That'll be good with that. So I put it all together. This is this lace trim, that's just, I sewed it on this way, and then I took a strip and flipped it the other way, and it's just got, so it's got the two straight edges together. But I just need to finish stuffing it, and then that one will be mostly done. I may decide that it needs some little something else. I know, look, and I finally finished my bag. I put a little pumpkin jingle bell zipper pull on here. I have a spot that the zipper sticks. I can't figure out what it's sticking on because it's not the fabric. I just put white inside. One of the reasons I hadn't finished it before is because I couldn't decide on what fabric I wanted. So today I decided, you know what, white's good enough. Okay, now that's all. But that's a lot for me. That is a lot for me. This week, I went to pick up my order of dairy that comes straight from the dairy farmers. I got milk and whey. But Addison had picked up the order last time, and because I couldn't do it for whatever reason. And then she was like, it's like a drug deal. You pull up, they bring it and hand it to you in your car, and you drive away. And it's kind of true. And then when they got into San Marcos on Friday, because they only come to San Marcos every couple of weeks or whatever, I get a text that says, "Hi, this is Cody with the dairy products. I have arrived at the pickup location. See you soon. Thank you." I was like, oh my God, it is like a drug deal. Let's read my text to you. So, if you ever need, some dairy, I'm your man. And then to make it worse, Dax ordered a box that he wanted to keep his pipe tobacco in. There was a little basket in there, but it wasn't big enough, and he wanted something that he had a lid on it where he could close it and secure it, so that as Ryan he's starting to want to reach for everything. He's not pulling up yet, but he is trying to grab everything he can. So just to not have to worry about him getting into it or any of that stuff, he ordered this box. And it came with some other stuff with it. He came and showed me today. He's like, look at this. It has rolling papers. It has some other little things. I'm not quite sure what those are for. It might have been just an easier way to roll your joints. Had a little funnel and a little brush to get everything cleaned out. Some little black bags with holographic images on the front and all kinds of stuff like that. And I was like, well, that's not anything we're ever going to use. But between the dairy hookup and now his box that he's ordered, I'm sure we're on someone's list. I was like, well, great. I have done some shopping. I don't know what came over me. I have no business looking. And I can tell you this. I know that I finished two things because I finished my September piece and then I finished this. And I had said that if I finish two things, I get to start something. But I don't know, because only this came out of my bin. So I didn't actually make a lot less room in my bins that are stuffed. because the Snowflower Diaries pieces I'm keeping out, they sit right here so that I can work on them every morning. So I don't know if that counts or not. Probably should count. It's my rules, right? Anyway, off of Etsy, it says Atomic Tiki Pens. I guess that's the name of the Etsy shop. I obviously I don't pay enough attention. Anyway, you know I love the old-fashioned Valentine ornaments. Well, these reminded me of old-fashioned, just the whole old-fashioned Halloween look. That could be why it's called mid-century ornaments Halloween vintage. Duh. Anyway, like especially this one with the cat, but just the colors and the combinations and all of that, I couldn't stand it, so I ordered that. There's no telling when I will get on to that. And then because Etsy hates me, they send me little things like, look at this. Oh my God. I was just like, well, it looks like she's looking down in the water. I gotta have that. Girl in the Pier. Designer is Hannah Levchuk. My Brave Stitch is the Etsy shop. I don't know what it is. I don't have like a ton of water themed decorations anywhere, but I just loved that. And I had marked it with a heart, and then Etsy sends me a thing. Hey, they're having a sale, and they were 50% off. So I looked and I found this one. Don't you just love it? So it's not like that box right there isn't full. Look, it's overflowing with things waiting for me to start. And these are going to have to go to the back of the box because I pull from the front so that things don't get forgotten about. And I have no business buying anything else, but I did it. I did. Okay, one more thing before I forget. It was brought to my attention some time ago that I reached 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, everyone, for that. I don't pay a lot of attention to that. So Dawn and Frosty X Stitch, and it's only stitching. Shelly, she used to be Shelly Key X Stitch. I think, is that what she still is? It's only stitching on YouTube, and I think she's still Shelly Key X Stitch on Instagram. They brought it to my attention that I had reached 1,000 subscribers. So I know what to do. I still don't really, but I have this pattern. This is one that I have finished. And I'm going to do a giveaway. You will get this pattern, but you'll get a package themed around this pattern. I don't know yet what I'll put in it. It'll come to me. But if you're interested, in your comment, put, Taryn, you're so great. Just kidding. Just kidding. If you just put B-E-E, then I will draw the next time I do a video. I'll draw right before I do a next video. Now, if you know me, that can be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes 4. So, and of course, all the things. I don't have to get your address after I draw, so you got to be 18. Don't say giveaway, free, prize, any of those words, but use the word bee, B-E-E, in your comment. You will get this pattern and various other things. Like I said, I don't know what yet, but we'll figure something out. So I think that is all for now. That seems like more than enough. I'm looking at my calendar to see what in 2 weeks is. Yeah, I'll try. I make no promises because you know how it is. Oh, I forgot my stats. August, for my Stitch from Stash balance, I ended August with $117 positive. It is not that much now because I've been shopping, as you saw. I ended August with 167 whips. I have touched 120 of the 150 whips I started the year with. I've finished 3 of the list of my 20-year-old whips, and I've had 18 finishes overall this year. So that's not too bad. I have no complaints. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for now. Thank you, everyone, for liking, subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Again, if I did not respond to you last time, I apologize. I know I responded to some people, and when I got notification on my phone, I went to respond to others, and they were gone. Everything was gone, even the ones I already responded to. So I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully it won't be that way, or if it is, I can figure it out. But thank you again, and my apologies. That's it for me. I'll see you next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.